Let's get this show on the road. Welcome back to Just Jay-Z.
Hey.
We are doing ASMR in this episode.
Yeah.
That is so satisfying, actually. It's like really crunchy and crisp sounding.
I love an apple.
Sorry. No, apples are good. I actually was thinking the other day, because I've been trying to like get healthier snack options, and I was thinking there's nothing better than apples with peanut butter. It's like one of my favorite snacks ever.
One of my favorite like healthy snacks is cucumbers with salt and pepper on it, and then dip it in ranch.
I'm going to do that too.
That one's a good one.
I love that idea.
Or I'll have just like some raspberries with some sugar, like a little bit of sugar on it with some whipped cream.
I always, when I was pregnant, I would do strawberries with like Cool Whip or whipped cream. As I'm drinking my Diet Coke, I'm like, I'm trying to be healthier. This and coffee are the two things I can't give up. But then like, I'm going to try to eat better, but I have to have my caffeine. Yeah. It's just like a non-negotiable. But Diet Coke, I'm trying to be better.
Ew, I couldn't. I hate Diet Coke. I hate diet anything.
I do too. I normally am a Coke or Dr. Pepper girl, but when I was losing my baby weight from Jagger, I was on a Diet Coke kick, and I actually learned to love it. So I'm trying to do that again. I'm like trying to force myself.
But I don't have enough discipline.
No.
I'm not even allowed to be drinking soda, but whatever.
But it's fine.
I still do it.
Well, should we do our highlights and lowlights, and then we can get into things?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first because I always make you go first. Here's our highlights and lowlights of the week. My highlight, actually, I'll start with my lowlight. My lowlight is I literally feel like I've gained 10 pounds since the beginning of the year.
Well, you don't look like it.
No, I do, but thank you. So I literally have been trying to I haven't started eating better, but I'm going to try. I need to go grocery shopping. I've just been eating like crap, so bad. So I'm going to go back on Ozempic. I'm like, I just need to go get the shot today and then I'll eat better.
It's worth it.
It is.
When you take a long break, do you call them and say you're coming in, or do you just show up?
I just show up, but I tell them, if you don't tell them to lower your dose again, they won't.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes you sick. So I'm going to tell them, start me over at 10 milligrams, because I gotten up to 30. Yeah. And I was
at 45, but if you go above 45, it's like $30 more.
Oh, interesting.
So,
and you have to ease into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm going to just start over from 10, because I've taken breaks and gone back. And if they don't lower my dose, I get so sick.
I always, there would be sometimes that I would have a 2-week break because I just was so busy.
Yeah.
So I would have them lower it 15.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because have you gotten sick on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. And
even taking my Zofran with because I get a Zofran shot every time, But yeah, when I take a break, and I only ever took a break and then was at my same dose one time, because then I got really sick from it. So I was like, okay, now I know not to.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. So
it's terrible.
I'm going to go get that shot today and then eat better. Don't tell Jordan. Hopefully he doesn't listen. He's like, don't do that ever again. I'm like, okay, but I have to. I've gained so much weight. I'm like, I am done.
Why does he care?
He just thinks it makes me crazy. Oh. But I'm like, no, I think it's just you that makes me crazy.
That's interesting.
Krista, of course.
What are you doing?
I went to bring you.
Sorry, don't mind me.
You made me an Easter basket?
Yeah. What the hell?
Wait, why? It's golden. Yeah, I know. That's on brand. Wait, this is so cute.
That's a cute little crumble box.
Yeah, wait, is this a cookie? It's a gift card. I'm like, is this a mini cookie? Okay, well, Krista just walked in. Of course.
I'll leave you alone.
Oh my gosh, this is so nice. Thank you. I literally was just telling them, I'm going to start eating healthier.
Here's a bowl
I'm on
of
my
candy.
health journey. And then I'm like, ooh, Swedish fish.
Well,
no, thank you. That's so nice.
Oh,
the Easter bunny came. Thank you. Okay, that is so sweet. Oh my gosh. We're going to do, I did these little questions on my anonymous box, and it was advice. So we're going to give people advice today. Okay. We're not qualified, but we're going to try.
Good.
Thank you.
Whatever. Who cares?
Oh, that was so nice. So yeah, my low light is, oh my hell, Jordan, I swear his ears burn. When I'm talking about him.
Just answer it, because I just love to know what he has to say. Okay. It's always something.
It's always something. Hello?
Hey, what are you doing?
Podcasting. What are you doing?
I'm Buck's coming down to get a flooring sample so that we can match the cabinets.
Who is that?
Buck.
Who's that?
This is how involved Jess is with the house.
Oh, the guy doing our cabinets. I know nothing about this house. Okay, so what?
I think you met him.
Oh, no, I haven't met him. Our drywall's going in, so it's starting to
Oh
look
my gosh,
good.
I still haven't seen it.
I should take you to see it today.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh my gosh, we should go see it. What was that?
Why don't you guys meet us over at the house in a minute?
Well, we're podcasting, but we can come after. I'll come show if you have time. I can take you guys to go see it. We'll come in probably 45 minutes.
Okay, try and hurry because I think that's about when we're gonna be there.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so hold on. There was some other reasons. I lost my train. Oh, where's our big? You know that big flooring sample?
I have no idea.
Okay, I have to have it. Can you give me some ideas of where it is? That big boulder.
I literally have no idea.
Ask Diana.
Yeah, Diana might know. I mean, our basement, our back porch. I have no idea.
Garage.
Yeah, garage.
Okay, he's driving down from Idaho, so we just gotta make sure we have it. So I might call you just to get some ideas on the house.
Okay.
Just use your eyes.
Yeah, bye.
I guarantee you that he hasn't looked at all.
No, he hasn't. This is the thing with men is
No.
they don't have vision.
No.
At all. I'll tell him so many times, right there. I can't see it. I walk in, I'm right there.
All the time just look at Riker and I say, use your eyes.
Yes. It's a man thing,
No,
isn't it?
it's so annoying.
No, I get it.
I'm like,
This
I can't keep, I'm
this is now
not
a
your
venting
mother.
podcast. I'm not your mother, but I kind of am. But like I was saying, Jordan thinks it makes me crazy. And maybe it does because it messes with your hormones, but I think I'm crazier when I feel fat. So that's a risk I'm willing to take.
That's fine. That's fine.
I would say my highlight is that the house is finally moving. So we'll go see it after this. I'll take you guys. And it's so fun because now that things are actually going in, drywall goes in, it makes it feel real.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's
so
light
exciting
at the end of the tunnel. So
and it's great because how long was this house under construction before you guys got it?
2 years. And this wasn't a new build. This was a remodel. And the fact that it's taken us almost a year.
Okay. It's not from the ground up. They gutted it.
They gutted it.
Oh,
and
okay.
What you've seen photos of is how we found it from the outside. So for me, I'm this should not have taken this
Did
long.
they just take a break from working on it?
Yeah, it was sitting abandoned for almost 2 years.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They just stopped because I guess they had gotten into messy situations with their contractor. Something there was a lawsuit. It was a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So it's been abandoned for a while. So anyone that's in the neighborhood is we're so excited this is finally happening. We just have to drive by it every day and it looks so
I
bad.
would hate that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I'm excited that it's finally moving. So I think we'll be moving in June, which is incredible. So I haven't really thought about it. Now I'm I have to pack and move and that sucks, but it's fine. It'll be good.
I'm always I want to move. And then I think about packing up my house. I'm
absolutely
so terrible.
No, I'm going to hire movers. There's no way. But still, you have to still pack your things and unpack and organize. And it's going to take a while. But anyway, your turn.
Well, let's see. My low light. Well, I've been sitting on this one for a while, so it's not really a low light from my week, but I did not get into my master's program that I applied for.
No!
I know. I was really sad about
When
it.
did you hear?
I heard, this is my highlight.
Oh,
I guess it's kind of a highlight that I didn't get in because not even a week after I found out that I didn't get in, I found out that I'm pregnant.
Wait, we should do that. Sorry, that was really long.
So it was a bummer, but I was sitting at school and I got the email, but they sent me a personal email, not just a rejection letter.
Really?
They sent me a personal email and they were we were really impressed. The admissions person personally emailed me and they sent me a letter, but she was I wanted to personally email you and say that we were really impressed by your application, but there's only so many spots that
Is it kind of when we reject students and there's you could get in later?
Yeah. No, I don't know, but they were by reading your essays and your letter of recommendations, we can tell that you're a really stand-up person, which was a really nice email to get. But yeah, I found out on a Monday and then that following weekend I found out that I was pregnant.
Well, it is a blessing in disguise because what would you have done?
I know, because it would have started in September and I'm due in October.
Oh, yeah, that would have.
So it wouldn't have been very
meant to
good.
be maybe you can do it next year.
Yeah.
Is it one of those where you can apply again?
I could probably apply again, but
and if they were impressed with you, they remember you. Maybe it is meant to be that way.
Yeah, but that's what has.
Dang,
so
I'm sorry.
I just
you were supposed to be the next Elle Woods.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so my highlight, I'm pregnant. Well, yeah, it's a highlight, I guess.
It took you a minute to
No,
wrap your
I'm
head
like
around
still wrapping my head around it. Well, it's fine.
You were planning on getting pregnant later. It was just sooner than you thought.
Yeah, we were planning on starting to try in August when Stevie turned 2, but now here we are.
Sooner than
It's just a little sooner,
but
it's
it
fine.
was also meant to be because of, remember our accreditation stuff?
Yeah, so our accreditation visit got pushed back to the spring, and had I got pregnant in August, then we would have been in a bind.
Yeah. So it's all meant to be.
Yeah, it all worked out. It's fine.
Your TikTok you did was funny.
It makes me sick. I've had
Maybe that's the reason you got
I've
pregnant.
had so many people say to me, I will never do that.
No.
For those who don't know, I did the pregnancy filter on TikTok on December 1st, and it's like, when will you get pregnant? And it said next month. I literally got pregnant the next month.
And I remember you posting that and being like, nope.
The caption was, can I get a hell no?
Were you on birth control?
No.
Oh.
So like I can't be surprised by it, but like it's worked for, I mean, we were married. I mean, we tried for Stevie. Like Stevie was intentional. So
at least one of yours was, neither of mine
we
were.
didn't get pregnant for 8 months leading up to it.
Yeah.
To Stevie getting pregnant, and then I haven't gotten pregnant the last year and a half. So
Yeah.
people say that the pull-out method doesn't work, but guess what? It does until it doesn't.
Yeah, there you go.
It's fine.
It does
Whatever.
until the timing's right.
Yeah.
I think it all like is meant to be when it's happening.
So
But
I can't be that. So I called my mom and told her, and she goes, well, what did you expect? I'm like, well,
No,
yeah,
literally.
I know, but like,
you're
I'm
like so sad. She's like, duh.
I'm like, but it's worked for this long, but now it's not. So,
Well, I'm
that's
happy
that.
for you.
Yeah.
You did your blood test?
No, so I went
what?
I went in for my first appointment last week, and I wasn't as far along as I thought.
What? How far along are you?
So now let's see. I have an app. Now I'm 10 weeks and 4 days.
Okay.
But when I went in last week, I thought that I was at 10 weeks.
So you were almost there.
Yeah, so I was
it.
9 weeks and 3 days or something like that.
Okay.
So my due date is October 25th, which I'm actually really excited about, because I'm like, we're going to decorate the hospital room with like Halloween stuff.
Yes, wait, that's cute.
I'm going to watch Halloween movies
You'll
while I
have
give
like a
birth.
newborn Halloween baby.
So I'm like, it'll actually be a really good time.
Wait, I am really happy about that. Do you think you'll have your baby on your due date?
I don't know. This time I don't really want to get induced unless I have to.
Yeah.
I just like I just don't think that Stevie was ready to come when I got induced. And so I was like, I should have probably just waited instead of going through the agony of a 24 hours labor. But this time I like kind of want to experience like oh crap, my water just broke. Like, what do I do? So I don't know. I want to, but we'll see what happens. And if I have to get induced, I will. But I'm like, I'll just let it be this time.
Yeah. And usually sometimes your second and third babies come soon.
Yeah.
Like sooner than your due date.
So, but yeah, I went in, so I'm going to a new OB this time around because I didn't love my one last time.
Okay.
And when they use a different lab than what like I used the last time with my other OB for the blood test. And since I don't have like any genetic deficiencies that run in my family, they don't think that my insurance will cover it.
The blood test?
Yeah. And so it's like $1,200.
Wait, what? I
Yeah.
didn't have insurance and mine was like $300.
Oh, really?
Yes. Where are you going?
I go to South Valley Women's Health.
Oh, I'm at Valley, but it was only like 300.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do sneak peek, but you know what happened to me.
I don't know that I trust.
No, I don't either.
But I just haven't called yet because they were like, you can call
what?
and see.
There's a place called Kicks and Giggles in Provo. It's kind of like a fetal photos, and they do blood tests there for babies. And so it's like, I think it's like $100.
Oh, okay.
So you could also do that.
Yeah, because that's how much
It's
my
not
one
the old,
last
like, it's
time.
not like the full panel, but it's just the gender.
Oh yeah,
know?
I just care about the gender because I
Yeah.
don't have any genetic
So you're
deficiencies.
like, it's fine.
So
and
I
if
don't,
there was something wrong, you'd find out on the 3D ultrasound later.
Yeah.
So
And so I'm like, whatever.
I can't wait for 20 weeks.
So
You need to find out sooner.
they can do it at 16
Oh,
weeks for the
okay.
gender, but I'm still like, that's such a
Do
long
a blood
time
test, but
to
then confirm
wait.
it with the
Yeah.
ultrasound.
So
Yeah.
and I just like haven't announced it because I was waiting to know like what I have.
Yeah.
But this time around, I'm like, I don't really care about, like, I've told pretty much everybody in my life, but I haven't like made an announcement about it.
Are you going to announce it online? I mean, you can do TikTok.
Well, yeah, but I just like, once I know the gender, I'll make like a post about it, but I just haven't yet. But I've told people so early on, but
I'm with your second one. You're not as like,
no.
Oh my gosh, has to be a big thing. Like you're just kind of like,
I'm just like, here we are.
I announced mine at 8 weeks because I'm like,
Well, yeah, that's how I've been. But I'm like, I don't want to make a double post and be like, it's a boy or it's a girl. So I'm like, I'll just do one. Like, I don't care that much. But
so you'll say it here, and then in like 6 weeks, or what if you do the blood test, you'll announce it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll like do a post about it, but
Cute.
I don't know. Whatever.
Do you have a feeling yet?
I feel like it's a boy, but
I hope so.
I don't know. We'll see. I would love, Riker wants all girls.
Okay. That's interesting.
I don't care either way. Like, I'm fine with either. I'm with Stevie. I was like, I need a girl.
Yes.
I want a girl. But now I'm like, I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, either way. So we'll see. I think it would be fun though to have 2 girls together, like, because I didn't have sisters,
Close
and
in
so
age,
so it would be fun to have like multiple girls around and kind of have like my little best friends. But I don't know,
matching outfits, that would be really cute.
So I don't know, I don't care necessarily, but I do actually, I need to call the lab and like find out how much it would be, just to find out. So
yeah, do that, and then if not, do the other one.
I know.
I just you need to know.
I just don't have the patience.
No, the people who wait,
yeah,
I think it would be a cool surprise in the living room, but I'm like, I have to have the name planned, the nursery, the outfits. Like, I have to order things. I don't know.
I have a family friend who she did so she had four boys.
Okay.
I think, but I think she didn't find out, and like, would take videos like when she would give birth, and she just like at the last 2 boys, she just like bawled her eyes out
because she wanted a girl.
Yeah.
See, and that's worse.
Yeah,
because at least if you find out on your own, it's like, yeah.
But I guess this time around, I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I think it just feels more real and more.
Well, you can pick the name and get connected to that idea.
That's my thing. Is I'm like, I want to know what we're going to name it, because I already have my names picked out. And so I'm like, I want to know what it is, and then just, do it.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to like see how Stevie handles it too. Like leaning away.
She's so like of Ruby. When Ruby comes to try and sit on me.
Yeah. She's like, nope.
No, she doesn't like it.
That's why I'm like curious, because I think the younger they are, the harder it is for them. Also, this is meant to be because your due date is the original Speak Now release.
That is amazing.
As you were saying it, I was like, I swear I recognize that date. So I Googled like Taylor Swift with that date, and I was like, yep, Speak Now.
Oh my gosh.
So hopefully you have the baby on that date.
Hopefully, because I've asked Riker if it's a girl, I want to name her Scotty.
Yes, so cute.
And then I really want to give her the middle name Swift.
Did he say no or did he say yes?
He said no.
Damn it.
I
but
know.
He said you could do Taylor. Right?
Yeah, he said that I could do Taylor, which I'm like, okay. But if it's a boy, we want to do James, which is also Taylor Swift related.
Exactly.
So,
that's literally like part of the reason.
Yeah.
Also, your middle name's James. I had no idea.
Oh,
Bailey, when she
cute.
sent her name for the flight, I was like, but I like the way yours is spelled. I was like, I wish I would have done that.
My grandpa's name is James, and then my mom found out I was a girl, so she added a Y, so it's more girly.
Cute.
And then my nephew is named James. Both my nephews.
So it's like in the family. See, my grandpa's James. That's why I did Jovi James. I love that.
I don't have
it's
anybody
such a cute
named
name.
James.
Just the song.
I just have a lot of Richard in my family.
Well, that doesn't really work.
So
for
a lot of Dick.
Yeah, a lot of dick in my family. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait. We're so excited Kaylee's pregnant. And how long have you known now? Has it been like a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. I
know.
I found
when you find out early, it feels longer.
But this is, okay. This is what I want to understand. So I found out on February 18th.
Okay.
So I was literally, let's see, how many weeks? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I was like 4 weeks pregnant at that point. What I want to understand, because I always hear about people being like, I found out when I was 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Because if your period's coming up, then
Yeah.
you've missed a period. Aren't you taking a test?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I guess like there's
Maybe
people
if
that
they
have
have
irregular or like you're on birth control and then like stuff starts acting up and you're like, oh, and then it's an oops. But it's always so weird to me.
Well, that's my first thought. Even if I know I can't get pregnant because Jordan's fixed, if I'm 2 days late, I'm like, I'm pregnant. Like,
and so I'm like, it just is so, because people are always like, how long have you known? And I'm like, well, since I was for 4 weeks.
What's the earliest you can find out? Is it 4 weeks? Because I swear I found out at like 3.
I'm sure that you can, because I'm sure like if you're trying and you're like keeping track, like, I mean,
you're like testing and okay, that makes sense.
So you could, but I don't know. They always say like find out 6 days sooner, but I don't know if you can find out earlier, if it's possible.
Also, if you take it too early, it can be negative. And then you can get a positive one like a few days later.
Yeah, that's how it was with Stevie. My first one was negative.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Dang.
So
this one came in hot.
This one lit up as fast as possible. Yeah, I was with my friends. My one friend was like, hey, do you have a test? I'm late. And I was like, oh, crap. So am I. So I let her take the test, and then I DoorDashed one the next morning, and all my friends were like waiting for me to take it. And I'm like, chill out. It's going to be negative. Like, what are you guys so like, like, calm down.
Like you had no inkling.
No. And
oh God.
So I went upstairs and I took it, and I took it as soon as I pulled it out from under me, it was positive, and I yelled, oh no. And my friends all came running upstairs. I'm like still sitting on the toilet. All my friends are like crowded around me in the bathroom. They're like rubbing my back, and they're like, I'm so sorry. And then one of them are like, well, we'll let you finish going to the bathroom and we'll meet you downstairs.
What a cool story though.
Yeah. So it was a girls' weekend. So I went after I took the first one. I then went and like bought a digital one, like a more expensive one, just to make sure. And then I called Riker, but it was a girls' weekend at my house. So Riker was staying at his parents.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't, I called him like 7 times and he was not answering me.
Wow.
So I was like, can you please call me? So he finally calls me and he's like, what? I'm like, I'm pregnant. And
you dummy.
He was like, oh.
Was he excited?
Yeah.
Like he wanted it one sooner? Okay. So then it's fine. It's all meant to be. It's just, it's just a little shocking when you're not planning it. I get that.
Yeah. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Well,
that's that.
That's that. Kayla's pregnant. And we'll probably do a gender reveal episode when we find out. That'll be cute. You have like a cute photo you're going to post for your hair page. And I'm excited about that.
It is going to be cute. I can't wait for that.
I know. I'm excited. Okay. So we decided, so we did the confessions episode, which actually went up today. When you're hearing this, it'll be weeks ago. But the juicy confessions were so fun that I thought we would do an advice column. And I thought this would be fun because we are nowhere near qualified to like give advice. And so that's why it's going to be entertaining. But we got some good ones. So
there's so much hair in here.
Wait, what do you mean?
There's hair down there, hair right there.
I thought you meant dog
there.
hair.
Oh, no,
so I was like, what? No, yeah, there's hair. I mean, you work at Jay-Z. What do you expect?
Know. It's just like,
we've been sewing clip-ins. We've been just hustling. So it's a mess in here.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. So we got some good ones. So I just thought that we would read them, give our advice, give our 2 cents,
Yeah.
Just go from there. Yeah.
My best.
I don't think we'll be very good at it, but I think it'll be fun.
Sorry, okay. I'm just chewing.
So this first one, I am stumped on. I've read them all, but I thought this one was interesting, and I feel like we've all probably been in situations like this.
Jessie always gets a heads up, and she gets to think about it. I'm put on the spot.
That's good, though, because it's like a natural reaction. Yeah. I think it's good. Okay, so the first one says, I started a friend group in 2020 for my birthday. I invited 12 of my closest friends from different friend groups, and we all ended up liking each other and made a big friend group, which is always the best when that happens.
That is the best.
Everyone finds one of the friends annoying, so I have started inviting everyone except the one girl. Oh. It makes me feel so bad when we hang out without her, but I also don't think people should be forced to hang out with someone they don't like. What should I do? Invite her anyway and say suck it up to everyone, continue on without her so everyone feels comfortable? Help. This one's hard.
So my mom does the same thing every year. She does a girls' trip to our cabin in Washington, and the group has just evolved. And my mom is like has so many different friend groups that she just wants to combine everybody. Yes. And I've also done that like over the years, and it's worked out like amazing. Like Megan always comes along with like I have like my hair school friends, my childhood friends, my college friends, and like Megan gets along with everybody. Like we do like couple stuff all the time.
I love that.
So my mom started doing this, and the group just changes and evolves all the time because like certain things happen. But my mom has just learned, like, I don't think that it's worth it to invite somebody because I think you're getting older, you're adults, that like you don't have to hang out with people that you don't care to hang out with.
For sure. I agree with that, but I also feel like if we are all adults, you can suck it up if it's like a night here and there.
Yeah.
And especially if it's just someone that like maybe you don't love their personality or they just kind of bug you. I feel like if you're in a big group of people, just don't really talk to them.
Yeah.
But if they've done something to someone and there's actual drama, then I'm like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do agree with that. But then I also am like, you only have, like, when you're an adult, like, you only have so much time to get together with your friends. True. And if there's one person that kind of throws off the group, it's like just not the same.
Okay, then what do you do then when that person realizes and you like them, but no one else does? How do you explain that to them? Like,
I don't know. I don't do confrontation.
Kaylee's like, you sweep it under the rug and you never talk about it again. That's, I think, what is tricky for her. She's like, well, I am friends with this person. No one likes them, but I do. And now if I'm leaving her out, how do I explain that? Whereas if there had been drama, she could be like, hey, you and this person don't get along. So, you know, and that would make sense. But if it's just like, everyone thinks you're annoying.
I mean, I also wouldn't be public about your guys' hangouts, maybe. Yeah. Like, we get to a point where it's like, not everything needs to be posted on social media.
So what I was saying is maybe like once a year, you just do one big event where you do invite everyone, but then just do smaller one-off dinners where it can be smaller groups.
Yeah.
Also, at the end of the day, the way I feel, maybe it depends on your situation. Me, I'm so busy. I have 2 kids. If I don't get invited to something, I'm not hurt by it because I really don't have time anyway. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't have to like say no. So at least for me, I'm like, it's sometimes an obligation to have to go to everything. And I know that when you're younger, if you don't have kids, like then your friends are your whole life. And like you were saying, you don't get together with your friends so often that like, I don't know, for me, I'm like, it's fine if I'm not included.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can have a conversation with them and just be like, I just don't think everybody vibes together, which is not a fun conversation to have.
I've been in situations like that with like friend groups and work where like there's sometimes just people that don't get along.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different with work though, because like, I feel like I can be like, guys, this is your job, suck it up. Whereas in friend groups, you don't have to, there's like no obligation. Yeah. That sucks. Yeah, there's not really much advice I can give other than, maybe do like just different activities where you have different groups and maybe try to rotate it where it's not always one person that's left out. Maybe if you have a group of 10 girls, do like a dinner with 4 of them one night and then do try to maybe break it up so it's not so obvious.
But I feel, and if like it's big events like birthday parties and stuff, maybe just invite her along. But like if it's trips and stuff, I don't think that you have to, because those get like intimate and it's hard when you don't want to spend time with somebody and you're traveling to go.
Trips are different because I mean, I've been on a few girls' trips recently where when one person has issues with someone else, it's not fun. Yeah. It's entertaining, but it's not fun. So if it's a trip and you guys are all having to pay a lot of money to go, then make sure it's who you're comfortable with. But I don't know. I would just say try your best to just not worry about it. And if the friend that's being left out asks you about it, maybe you can just say something like, I just think that it's hard to mix friend groups. So I just figured we would do something else with a different friend group and you later. But that one's hard. Relationships and emotions and feelings are like the trickiest
I don't do
things.
Well with those.
No, same. Kay was like, I literally don't do confrontation.
When it comes to romantic relationships, I feel like I can give advice. But
yes. You feel like you're better at that than friendships and stuff like that? I
think I've lucked out in my life. I have had a few like big falling outs with like
I've never had that happen.
There's been like a very like when I've had falling outs with friends, like they've been like really major. Yeah. But then there's people that obviously you just fade out and like whatever. But I've been really fortunate to have like really good friends in my life. Mm-hmm. I think that that's been something that I've tried to work on because I didn't have sisters growing up. Yeah. So when I like got to high school and like college, like that's like what I really wanted to like have was like a really good group of friends. Yeah. So I've been lucky enough to have like very low drama friends and like people who don't get offended. I can't, if I have friends that get offended, I just start to keep them at an arm's length because I just can't do it.
I'm the same way. I feel like the older you get too, you just don't have time for it and you naturally gravitate towards people who just kind of think the same way as you. Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. I love friendships as an adult that like you can pick up after like a few weeks of not talking or a few months and just fall right back into it.
Like one of my college friends, like, honestly, we don't text every day, but we probably like as a group, like Snapchat every day, just as like update, like
That's
whatever.
That's a great way to stay in contact. Yeah.
And I have a friend in my life right now that like, I just have distanced myself because I get nothing in return ever. Yeah. And I'm just tired of it. And
why put the effort in?
Yeah. And I was explaining this to my college friends and I was like, I just like with you guys, like I cannot say anything for a week and like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they were like, but then also if you weren't to say something in a week, like we would all be checking in on you too. Like not like offended by it, but we would be like, is everything okay? Like I just don't have the time in my life for like needy people.
No, I agree. Especially the older you get. It's like, no,
I'm okay. Yeah. I have a toddler.
Well, and I don't need a
needy person.
Well, also I feel like, you know how like when you're talking about dating relationships, they're always like, if you want to, he will, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with friendships. Yeah. And it's funny because I keep saying like, oh, I want low maintenance friendships, but I have noticed I will take the time to put effort into the friendships I care about. But if it's someone that like is needier or like gets offended, I'm like, no, even if I have the extra time, I don't want to, you know? So I think we need to normalize adult friendships being ebbs and flows, and it's okay to like, you know,
I have so many friends from college that like, I don't talk to, like I talk to them on like a bi-monthly basis probably. Yeah. But like, if I needed anything, I could call them and they would do whatever.
And that's that on adult friendships.
That's and I am not like, I'm not like I don't do like the little things, I guess, in friendships. Yeah. I'm not like, I don't have time, nor do I have any interest in like having like texting conversations. I mean, like, how are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't care, but like, I'll do the big things where like, I'm always the party planner and like having events and stuff at my house. Is that like
one of your love languages?
Yeah. So like getting people together, like I love spending time with my friends. And so I'm like, I might not text you every day and you might not hear from me, but you can guarantee that like, I will be inviting you to something. And like, that's my effort that I make.
Yep. So. I agree with that. And I feel like those are the big moments that matter in the long run, you know? So, and I also feel like people like that also know that you will be around when it matters, you know? Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Ooh, this is a good one. And I feel like this is really good because we're going to have two different, like views on it. It says what to do when you're having a faith crisis. I don't know if you've ever been through that, but I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we can kind of share two sides of it. This one is hard. I feel like what am I trying to say? I've been talking a lot about this subject lately in my life. So I feel like I have a lot to say about it, and you'll get a lot more insight soon. That's all I can say. But if you want more advice, just stay tuned for an announcement. That's like so vague, but I have definitely gone through this, and I feel like something that really helped me was taking other people's opinions and views out of it, because I feel like growing up, I cared so much about what other people thought. And I think especially here in Utah County, Mormonism is prevalent, and everyone you grow up with is Mormon, typically your family, your friends. So leaving that can be scary. And I think that when I started to feel like maybe it wasn't for me, I worried so much about other people's opinions and their views of me. Was I going to be perceived as a bad person, and so on and so forth? And when I started just thinking about me as a person, what I want for myself, what I believe, that's when it really shifted for me. And for me, I felt like just leaning into like my gut and like what serves me is what's made me happiest. And I have found that like, maybe I don't love organized religion, but I'm still a very spiritual person. Like I always will believe in God. I still pray. I have that belief. I just don't like go to church every Sunday. Yeah. But I think that the biggest thing you can do is not live for other people and live for yourself in those moments, because a lot of people go through a faith crisis and they get so scared to say anything because they're going to let their family and friends down. And you just literally, especially if you're an adult, you just have to like not worry about that and know that the people in your life that love you will be there to support you, even if they don't agree. What about you?
My dad, so when I was in high school, so I've been through like kind of two phases of my life where I've kind of struggled.
Oh, really?
when I was in high school, I think I was a sophomore in high school. I struggled, and I said to my dad said to me, cause I was like getting like really deep, I guess, like into doctrine.
Okay. I was just going to ask, being in high school, was it like a surface level, like my friends don't go to church, so I don't want to, or was it actually you were researching things?
I wasn't like researching things. I'm LDS, so I will never get into like the anti-LDS stuff. Like that just, well, one, I just don't think that I would be fazed by it, but two, I just think that it would make me uncomfortable.
So what were you researching?
I just because I'm from California, and so I grew up as a minority, like in my religion. Like I'm not from Utah where it's like the majority.
Was it a lot more relaxed there, the church?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I think that that's why, like, I was blessed in that way, because going through a faith crisis wasn't like as frowned upon, because you're not surrounded by everybody who shares the same faith as you. And so it's not like you feel guilty about it because everybody else is living it. Like you kind of like have the ability to like deal with it on your own instead of like being surrounded by people. And then I went to Utah State, which was like, well, I was in college, which like that's the first time living on my own and like having to force myself to do things on my own, and not being like Sunday morning, like my parents are like, hey, we're leaving in 10 minutes. Yeah. It's like all on my own. But I went to Utah State where not everybody is LDS, and I was in a sorority. So I was surrounded by a lot of non-LDS people. And I definitely experimented when I was in college.
Aren't you glad you did?
Yeah.
So that you live life.
I'm glad that like I know what it's like. But my dad, when I was in high school, he just basically, he said to me, like, you're not going to have all the answers. Cause I was like diving deep into like doctrine, and I'm from California where like, you know, like LGBTQ, like that's like a big thing, and like you deal with it a lot more there. And like being like, that was hard for me. It makes you
question things more.
Yeah. Like just being like, we don't, and it's not that like we don't accept people. I just am like, you live your life, but like, let me live mine too.
Yeah.
But my dad just basically said to me, like, you just need to like not think so deep about it, I guess. Like if you get too deep into it, it's going to make you crazy. Like you just need to think about like sometimes the surface level things that like just get you through your faith. And it's like, how does it make you feel at the end of the day? And I think at the end of the day, like I have struggled, and there are things that like, I don't know everything, and I'll admit that, like I'm not a perfect Mormon, but I just know how the church makes me feel, and I've witnessed that, and I've had experiences that like, that's what keeps me. So
I love that. And I feel like church in general shouldn't be about image or what other people think. It should be just about how it makes you feel at the end of the day. And if you're trying to work towards being a better person or having more faith or feeling good, then that's great. Yeah. Like my friend Taylor goes to church, and she had a big swinging scandal. You've probably heard of her. And I asked her about it. I'm like, does it like phase you to go to church? Like, do people point at you? Like, are people like judging you? And she's like, oh yeah, but I go because it makes me feel good. Yeah. And I thought that was great that like she, out of all the people in Utah, would probably be the most judged for going, and people would assume she wouldn't. And it made her stronger. Yeah. Because she's like, I like to go to feel good. And I think at the end of the day, any religion is just about feeling better, feeling closer to God, and being a better person. Yeah.
And I think it's all about, the church is the gospel, and it's not the people. So like,
I think that was the hardest thing for me, is in Utah, it's so wrapped around the people and culture that
I can't
it's hard to
imagine
separate.
growing up here. I think it would have been really hard.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of people here in Utah go one way or the other, where it's like you're full Mormon or you're anti. Yeah. And I'm not anti by any means. I feel like I'm in the middle, where I had questions, I had doubts, I had concerns, and I'm not active, but I'm never going to be like, I hate you because you're Mormon and fuck Mormonism. Like I would never. And I feel like it's okay to have opinions, but also respect other people. Just like you said, like if you don't agree with it, but let me live my life. Yeah. You know?
And I am like, I'm just like, let me do my thing and I'll let you do yours. Like if it comes down to like morals and stuff like that, like obviously there's stuff that people do that like might not align with the church, but I'm like, I'm not like, I don't feel great about that because of church related things. I just don't feel great about it because of like
morality.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. I think at the end of the day, it's all about how you are as a person, because someone can go to church and even have a calling and still not be a great person day to day. But on Sunday they go, that doesn't make them a great person. No. I feel like I don't need religion to make me a good person. I think I was instilled with good values growing up, and I'm human. I make mistakes like everyone else, but I think at the end of the day, I know I have a good heart. I know I'm a good person. So I don't worry about, oh, I'm not going to church, so I'm not setting a good example for my kids. I'm like, no, I'm teaching them every day how to be a good person. Yeah. So I agree. It's just all about who you are.
I just, again, I'm like, you do what you want to do. Like my uncle, my mom's brother, is not active, and he stopped going to church when he was like 18. And he's like one of my favorite people in this world. Yeah. And I'd also... like my best friend from growing up is Jewish. And then my best friend from college, she's lived in Utah her whole life and she's never been LDS. Wow. And so I'm like, whatever, you just do what you have to do.
Well, it closes you off so much if you only associate with people in your own religion. Yeah. Like we should have a melting pot of so many different types of people in our lives, you know? And I feel like I've been doing a lot of research on this topic lately. And I didn't realize that Mormonism was 0.01% of the world, you know, which is totally great. But like, there are so many other religions out there. And that doesn't mean, I guess growing up, I was trained that like, if you weren't Mormon, you weren't a good person. Like not that someone said that, it was just kind of the image I had that like, oh, all these other people are lost. And it's like, no, they can be other religions and still be good people. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to who you are, like you said. And if you're in Mormonism, if you're a Catholic, if you're Jewish, whatever it may be, as long as you're living your life in a good way, you can find happiness, you know? So I agree with you on that. And I think it's so great to know other religions, because it also maybe affirms your belief. Yeah. You've seen other religions, you've seen other lifestyles, and this is what you choose. Yeah. And I think that's great, you know? So faith crisis is hard though. So how do you feel like what helped you get through it both times? Like what would you say was your biggest thing?
I think I just went back to the basics and just like how it made me feel. Yeah. Like I didn't take it for like for like all the rules and like the people of it. I just took it for like how it made me feel and the experiences that I had had.
Yeah. I love that. And that's what it should be.
Yeah.
With any
and
faith.
I just always tell myself, I'm like, I'm not a perfect person in my religion, and that's okay. Yeah. Because at least like I'm trying, but I can't be perfect in it, and I'm not going to have all knowledge.
You know, I think that's great. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This one's a good one. Advice on dealing with boundaries when it comes to your in-laws and your kids. I'm about to have my first baby, and my mother-in-law and I have very different opinions and views on things when it comes to raising the baby. That sucks.
Unfortunately, luckily, I haven't had to do this.
Good.
But I think unfortunately, you're just going to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. Like you are giving them the privilege of having a grandchild, and it's up to them whether they get to be in the grandchild's life. Like, and if this is they had their chance to raise their children the way that they wanted to. Mm-hmm. Now it's your turn, and they just need to trust that you can do it, and they just need to give you the time to do it. And if they don't agree with it, then they're only hurting themselves in the end.
Yeah. And they also need to remember, like as in-laws, you need to remember that you've had 20 plus years of experience, but when you were a new mom, you didn't know anything either. Yeah. So you need to but that's how you learn. So you have to let the children trust that process of parenthood. I also just think something I've learned as I've gotten older is that it always helps to have these conversations head on and just address things when they happen, because if you don't say anything to her and then the baby's born and then a year or two later, you're still resentful, that could cause a bigger issue over time. Yeah. Whereas if you just say something now, and it can even be lighthearted before it becomes a big problem, that will kind of knock it off. A great example of this is my mother-in-law. I love her so much, but this isn't about parenting, but she'll always make comments to me. She is very natural. So she doesn't like fragrances. Okay. So if I wear perfume, she'll be like, oh, why are you wearing that? Or she'll come to my house and be like, why do you have candles and wallflowers? And she'll literally blow my candles out. Okay. But me and her have such a good relationship that I'm like, Sharon, it's my house. It's fine. But when I go to your house, you don't have to do that, you know? Yeah. But just having those playful conversations where I could be like, Sharon, it's my house.
Yeah.
Off the bat. Then it will never get to that point where I'm resentful because I'm telling her how I feel. And we have a good relationship because of that. So I feel like you just have to say those things and just immediately be like, well, that's not how you do it, but I'm going to try it this way. And then don't make it a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you build that resentment over time and you don't say anything, it's going to blow up.
Yeah. Nick Viall has a podcast called The Viall Files.
I love him.
Yeah. It came out on March 18th, and episode 721 was an Ask Nick, and it's titled "My Parents Are Diagnosing My Child."
Oh no.
But it goes in so that caller talks about setting boundaries, and he actually had some really good advice.
Okay.
So I
go
suggest listening to that too.
Nick is actually it's so funny because on The Bachelor I didn't like him. He's come such a long way.
He has. I have so much respect for him.
And he's such a cute new dad.
Yeah.
And he gives great advice. So go listen to that episode.
River is so cute.
I know.
Her little nose is perfect.
So cute. Okay. The next one says, do I wait to get a boob job after kids or should I just go for it? Also, what size CC or cup size?
Well, I've never done this.
I'm on my 4th. I would say wait, honestly.
Yeah.
I know it's tempting, but after I had Jovi, I had to redo them because breastfeeding and pregnancy made them lopsided. One was bigger than the other and it ruined them. And you could be fine, but then again, you could not. And I just don't think it's worth it to go through it as many times as I have. And
just wait until you're guaranteed results.
Yes.
Instead of risking the results.
Because your milk coming in affects them.
Yeah.
Weight gain affects them. So I would just wait, especially because another thing I regretted about having implants before Jovi was I had big implants and then I got pregnant and they were this big, especially when breastfeeding, and I was so uncomfortable. So I would just wait and do anything to your body as a mommy makeover, a reward for having the kids.
My mom did a mommy makeover, and then it's you're waiting. You might have more money the older you get, and then you can just do everything at once.
Yep. And then you'll have a better idea of what your body looks like too, because your body changes so much with pregnancy. You may not even choose the correct cup size. That happened to me too. So now I'm way more comfortable with what I have because I'm done having kids. I know what my body looks like and what I want. So I would say wait. That is for sure my advice. As I'm telling Bailey, get your boobs done. You don't have kids yet. Well, I will say though, if you don't have kids or you're still in the middle of that process, just do smaller implants then because they will get bigger. That is just my advice. My friend just got her boobs done and they're huge. And I told her, I'm if you have more kids, you're going to hate your life. And she's like, it's fine.
Or just plan just have the mindset that you're probably going to have to redo them.
They do look good, but hers, my friends, they look great. They're big, but they look good. But I'm if you get pregnant, I can't imagine because they're already huge. That's how I felt with Jovi, is because I had 440 cc's, which is way too big. And then it was 500 cc's by the time my milk came in. So it was awful. I will say, go to your doctor, show them photos and tell them what you want specifically instead of just being you do what you want. Because some doctors will go bigger than you want. Some will go smaller. The taller you are, you can get away with bigger ones, I think, but I'm 5'2", and I'll just give you context. I started with 440 cc's. Maybe on the YouTube video, I'll put up photos of each of my sizes so you can see how big they were.
Those make no
way
sense.
Way too big. No, I went way too big, but I didn't really know much. And so I was just okay. Then the second time I did 325, which they weren't too big. They were actually fine, but I still felt like they were too big for me. Now I'm at 225. They're still healing, but I feel great about them because they're still there. But if I want them to look bigger, I can wear a push-up bra. And if not, then I can still wear the cute little skimpy tops and be fine. Because I felt like I couldn't wear strapless dresses. I just looked like a porn star with my old boobs. So now I can fake it, so it was great. So talk to your doctor, have photos of inspo. But that is my advice. Okay. The next one says... Oh, this one's good. I just opened a booth rental salon a few months ago. I love my girls so far, but some of them are not up to par yet on the skill level. I just recently had to fix someone they did who was originally my client. I know this needs to be a learning moment, but how do I tell her kindly? Okay, this is the hardest thing about being a booth rental salon only is you're not responsible for that, but it's your name, so technically you feel like you are. That's why I kind of switched my structure. Now we have commission and booth rent because our call-ins are going to commission stylists who are building. And then if there is a fix, we can deal with it. We make it work. We fix it, whatever. Yeah. If you're fixing someone who was a booth renter's client because it's your name and reputation on the line, then you're losing money. That's a sticky situation. So I don't know. I as an owner, I'm not a fan of booth rentals only for that reason. I would say like, or don't refer clients to them. I don't know. It's hard because you kind of have to if you're full. But I don't know. That's hard. I feel like you have to kind of explain to the clients that the structure of booth rental is like you're their landlord basically. And it's not up to you to like take fixes or complaints. But I remember when we had all booth renters, if we'd get like a negative review, it affected my salon, even though that wasn't technically my employee or whatever.
Yeah, so. That's the risk that you're taking with being a booth rental and putting your name on it is that you just can't be held responsible. But unfortunately, you kind of are.
Yeah. So I would say my advice, and this is what I did. I started with all booth renters and I ran into this situation a lot because clients don't understand really. If they're going to a salon, they figure the owner is responsible for everyone. I would start implementing, if you can or want to, like 1 or 2 commission stylists to give to the people that need to get in last minute or if someone else is booked. And then those are the people you're referring to so that you do have a responsibility to handle those situations. And then with the booth renters, I wouldn't necessarily help them build a clientele. They just kind of work there. If you're booth rent, you typically have a clientele and you feel steady enough to be in control of that. But I would say that's a sticky situation. And as an owner, I would implement maybe 1 or 2 commission stylists. That would be my suggestion. Okay, we're going to do one more. We have a lot, so we'll probably split this and we'll do another advice column like next month because we've gotten a lot of them in. This one's good. And I actually really like this because it relates to a topic we're going to do on another episode. So this will kind of tease it and then we're going to actually deep dive into this later on. So it says, "Hi guys, I admire you so much. I'm 24 years old and I'm thinking about going into cosmetology. My dream has always been to become a hairstylist, but sometimes I think it's too late and I'm too old." She's 24. I would love some advice from you guys. Thank you. First of all, you're never too old. When I started hair school, I had 2 other girls in my starting class. One was 52 and one was 49. And they were just both moms whose kids had grown up and they wanted to do something new. And I thought that was amazing. And to this day, they both still do hair. And I thought it was a great way to build a skill later on in life when maybe you want something a little more flexible or you just want something more fun. So it's never too late. Also, you're 24, you're a baby, so you're totally fine. But
I mean, I went to school when I was...
You were probably similar in age.
I was 22.
Yeah.
I turned 23 in like a few months after. So
wait, you turned 23. Oh, 23.
I turned 23
gotcha.
Like a few months after starting school.
Yeah.
So.
See, and I think it's hard because like I understand usually it's all 18, 19-year-olds. Our school has a lot of that age group, but we also have some girls that are like in their mid 20s, maybe late 20s. So I would just say it's never too late. Some people go to college first, then go to hair school. That's what Kaylee did. Yeah. So no, it's not too late. And my advice to you is just dive right in. And if you're interested, just give it your all.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be doing an episode. I actually texted Kaylee yesterday and said, I want to do an episode because I own a hair school. She's the director and runs it. And we have a lot of insight into being newer in the industry, being a student, and advice we would give either students or new stylists in the industry. So we're actually going to deep dive into this. And so I'm going to leave it at that. And we're going to tease that because that will be one of our next episodes coming up. And we're going to deep dive into advice that we would give people in our industry that are newer or wanting to go to school. So I think that's going to be a really great one. Should we do event deck real quick to wrap it up? I think, are they on my side? Yes, they are. Okay. This has been one of our longest episodes. I'm proud of us.
Jordan's probably like, where are
I know.
you?
Where are you guys? He did call me and I ignored it. Okay.
Sorry.
What is illegal but shouldn't be?
Oh,
that's a good one.
Oh, illegal but shouldn't be?
Oh, this reminds me though, last night, Jacker, he's been like talking so much lately. And at dinner, I asked him, I was like, "Are you a big boy?" He's like, "I'm not big. Yeah, I'm not a policeman." And I was like, "What?" And he's been telling me he wants to be a policeman when he grows up. He's like, "When I'm big, I'll be a policeman and I'll put the bad people in jail." And I was like, perfect. But it was so cute. He's like, "I want to be a policeman when I grow up." What's illegal but shouldn't be?
That's a hard... I don't know.
You know what? Wait, I have to look this up to see if this is accurate. Okay, this one's... If you have kids in the car, please turn it down or turn it off and listen to this later. So I had heard this like years ago and I didn't know if it was true, but I just Googled it. So sodomy is the legal term used for oral and anal sex, both of which were illegal in Utah until May of 2019. So if you were having anal or oral before 2019, it was illegal in Utah. I'm not kidding. Yes. Consensual sodomy was illegal.
That's so weird.
Yes. I'm like, is it because it's Utah?
But like, yeah, but okay, yeah, it can be in Utah, but like in the church,
you can do that.
Once you're married, there's no rules when it comes to sex. As long as it's between a man and like, this has nothing to do with the church because you can do whatever the hell you want.
But that's what I'm wondering is, did lawmakers, were they just so conservative back in the day? Because now it says today only forcible sodomy is illegal. So if it's consensual, it's fine. But before 2019, it wasn't.
That's so weird.
Can you imagine getting arrested because you gave your husband a blowjob? Like what? Yeah. So that to me, so weird. It's changed now, but before 2019, that was illegal and that should not have been illegal.
Something that doesn't make sense to me is public intoxication.
Yeah, that one's weird too.
I'm like,
is it illegal everywhere? Because like Nashville, Vegas, like what?
Like that doesn't make sense to me. So it's illegal to be like walking the street after going out to drink and you're drunk.
That can't be right.
That I don't know. I'm not very well versed. Obviously in it, but
so
that just doesn't make sense. Public intoxication doesn't make sense to me.
I don't get that either. You're right. I think it's like, I want to say,
like out of hand.
Like if you're doing something crazy, like if you're drunk.
Or something,
yes.
That is true.
It's probably like,
I probably sound so stupid right now.
Well, I'm Googling it right now.
Because I feel like it blurs a lot of lines.
I agree because I feel like, there's only a few states where it's illegal. Because I was like, Vegas, there's no way.
Yeah, because it's like if somebody's yelling on the side of the street, like, they're going to get arrested because they're intoxicated.
I think that's
but if they weren't. But
and
if they weren't,
you can't
they were
like,
yelling.
There's some states you can't like have an open container.
Yeah.
And stuff. So maybe it's just if you're causing a scene is when they take it seriously. But like, there's so many people who are just drunk all the time. Like,
aren't you not allowed to have open alcohol in a car?
Yes, that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Well, that makes sense. Well, like obviously for a driver, but I'm like
the person next to them.
What does it matter if they're in the back seat of a car drinking and they're not driving?
I think it's more so just that it would be easy for the driver to take some if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
still, if you got pulled over, they can
yeah
check that. But yeah, I don't know. There are certain things like that I'm like, interesting. We probably are getting this all wrong, but that's another thing that's questionable.
We probably sound so stupid.
We're like, we want drunk driving to be legal. Like, we sound so dumb. But no, I think that's a good one.
There's just some stuff where I'm like, I don't get it. But
yeah. Well, and then there's way worse things that people get away with. That's what's funny. But
yeah.
Anyway, well, that was a good episode. I am happy that we did that. We'll do more advice columns soon. I'll probably post about it again, but we still have probably 10 that I didn't even get to. So we'll do another one very soon. So I love it. Also, let us know what you guys want to listen to, because I feel like every week I'm like, what should we talk about? But it's also just fun to like talk about nothing and just catch up.
Yeah, I could talk for hours, but if it's something that people are going to listen to.
Okay, well, if you are watching on YouTube, our camera died, so this last little clip is not as great of quality because it's on my phone. But thank you so much for listening. We love doing the podcast, and we will catch you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Just Jay-Z Podcast. You can catch us once a week here on Apple or Spotify, and you can also watch us on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe.